Hello everyone, welcome to Jargus Ranger Review. This time we'll be looking at the 18th episode of Power Rangers Ninja Steel, The Adventures of Redbot. Now this is a fun little episode, because Redbot is having a little blog called The Adventures of Redbot. Now apparently it has a lot of followers, to the point where some publisher tracked the IP address down to the school and wants to meet with him. Though Levi tells them to be careful, even telling small fibs like that can get him into a lot of trouble. And the publisher wanted to make a whole book about his stories to share with the whole world. And of course, Victor, Vincent, and Monty are right there. And they volunteered to be his managers. Of course, they can't get a better deal instead. It's the one and only offer. And Redbot signs for it right away. Now, in any other show, this would be extremely suspicious. Like they'd be trying to rip him off or something. But no, for once, you got this kind of storyline, what happens so suddenly, and it's entirely legit. So they set up this big book signing event at the school, of course, with a whole bunch of people, including the Rangers, who get called away for a quick monster attack. And sitting right next to Redbot, talking alongside him, telling his stories, is Victor and Monty. And this is where everything comes to a head. Because there's a delay in the shipments of books, so he's telling his stories of his adventures, which is really just placing him as the hero in the various Ranger battles we've had so far. And this time we talk about with Levi Weston's concert being destroyed, and when he saves the little girl Mary. But then Victor and Monty interject in saying that they're the real heroes, and they use like superpowers, supervision, like they're fucking Superman against them, to save her from the falling building. And then Mary, who's in the audience, jumps up and says, "You're a bunch of liars. It was the Gold Ranger's save." And she runs out, and then all the people started booing them. However, then they all get frozen when they're holding the books, because our monster, who is a cat watch monster called Cat O'Clock, put a spell on all the books while they were in shipping, causing them all to freeze in place. Including Mary, who didn't throw her book away, she just froze outside. So Mick figures out pretty quick what the situation is, because even the Rangers are frozen. He just takes all the books away while wearing a glove and they can go. Because yep, as long as they're holding the enchanted object, they're kind of frozen in place. And the Rangers make quick work of this monster. The only interesting part was, in the middle of a battle they say, "Yeah, that's the source of my evil power, but I won't tell you about it." Even though he just let it slip right there. So they just use an arrow shot to destroy the clock in the middle. And then they just finish him off and do a Megazord battle. Nothing too special or spectacular about how it looked. Standard fare at this point. One thing that did happen during that, however, is Levi and Redbot were on the motorcycle looking for Mary, because they know she had a book. And then they found her stuck on the train tracks of all places. And at this point, the train was about to come and she had no way to avoid getting spotted. So Redbot uses his rocket thrusters on himself, or whatever they call it on him, to fly and grab her. So when she comes to when the book falls, she sees that he saved her on his own, as they're descending slowly. So after everything is back to normal, Redbot appears with all the other people being released from the spell. And then Redbot shows up and tries to apologize, but then Mary runs in and tells everyone to turn on TV. And it shows a news report of her being saved by Redbot. So he sort of redeemed himself right there. As for Victor and Monty, well, since they failed as managers, Mick just wants them to stay as coat hangers during the event. I mean, it's not like they can feel anything or whatnot during it, so who cares? But a nice little skit at the end is at the Warrior Dome, Cosmo does his own blog. And I love the title of it. It's called Cosmo v Rangers, Dawn of Showbiz. Ah, you're starting to get a little more topical, Saban. Very good of you. Of course, Maximus. Why do I always call him Maximus? Or have the urge to? It's Galvanax. Where am I getting Maximus from? He sees it and yells at him to get rid of it or he's gonna scrap his ass. Anyway, that's the episode. Overall, it was okay. I mean, the action didn't play much of a factor. Actually, for the most part, there wasn't all that much action. Really, this was a character-building episode, because we see that Redbot is kind of insecure because he really doesn't do much. Mick does a hell of a lot more than him, and he barely has any screen time either. But at least Redbot is still a relevant character. So overall, you can skip most of this episode. definitely skip fighting because it means nothing. But the overall character moments are pretty nice. Because this is a run-of-the-mill story with even more average fighting in it. I'll just give it like a C+ or a B-. Nothing special. I mean, if you have some investment in characters, you'll enjoy it. But if not, and you just want to see it as a Power Rangers episode, you're going to see nothing really impressive. Anyway, that's all for this time. Thanks for watching. And until we meet again, let the power protect you.